You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Single ladies, cafe. Single ladies, cafe. Smart, yeah, simple and sexy.
Welcome to the Single Ladies Cafe. I am Miss SC, and with me today I have Fox. She will be giving you the exposure with the Fox. Celebrity news and gossip?
Yep.
Okay, good. She said that she has some interesting things that she's going to share with us today. Really looking forward to that. Also, if you notice, Miss Kiki is not here today, so we've asked JV to sit in her place for today. She did have surgery, so those of you that know her, please keep her in your prayers. Hopefully we'll have her back on our next show. But we miss her. We're going to miss her today. But we're happy that you're going to fill in, James.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I am good. You?
Yeah, good. We're good. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about should we strip deadbeat dads of their rights? Oof. We're going to be talking about that today. And actually, this topic came up. Actually, we were asked to do it because a young person asked us to do this topic. So, it's, they're curious too. So, right. Unfortunately, they're in school and they can't be here to air to tell, how they feel about it. But we're going to try to get to the root of, should we be stripping these deadbeat dads, or can they stay? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. But anyway, before we get to that particular question, we did pose the questions on Facebook, so that's why JV is sitting with us today, and he's going to just kind of add some information to what we're going to be talking about. We're going to get some feedback from what Facebook says. Right. So before we get to the should we strip them, let's talk about when we're dating somebody, we have a new man in our life, and he's been taking care of, helping out with the kids. Should baby daddy get upset because little Joe is being taken to the barbershop by my new guy, or he's going to the toy store, he's taking him out for lunch and all that stuff. So should baby daddy get upset about that?
I'm gonna go sit down somewhere.
Really?
Really.
Why?
Why though? If I'm dating somebody, that person is not only dating me, they're dating my child, so I would want them to have a relationship. So if building that relationship is him taking him to the barbershop or taking him to the toy store, then it needs to be done. So we're, not together, the baby daddy. So if you're not around to do your part, somebody's got to do it. I can't do it all the time.
But let's start here. What if baby daddy, okay, you don't live together, you're not a couple anymore, but you are dating, and maybe perhaps he is dating someone else, and the person that you're dating now wants to be able to take the kids out to wherever. Should he have a say in if his child should go out with he shouldn't have a say?
Definitely not.
No.
Why not?
I think I would assume that maybe the baby daddy, baby father, child, dad, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, that they have met the person that you're dating.
Okay.
And
what happens if that's a good scenario?
At the end of the day, I mean, if it's my child and if I feel that it's their safety, if they're safe with that person and that person wants to take them, then I really don't care what you have to say.
Really?
Really.
Wow. Do you feel the same way, James?
Yeah, definitely.
You do? Why? Like,
Because they're starting their own life with someone else. So, and you have your child. So your new boyfriend can take your child here, there. If you have appointments and stuff, other appointments to do, they can take it.
Yeah.
They can take care of
I
your
mean,
child.
why are you all up in my business, in my household? I mean, if as long as it's not interfering with what your time, don't worry about what's going on in my time.
well, I would think that if it's my child, that I would always be interested or worried about what's going on with my son or my daughter if someone else.
Now
if that-
you know that's a good scenario.
Right.
That's a good scenario. Let's talk about reality.
Okay, all right, let's get down to
Right.
reality.
It's not
now.
like that.
Okay,
It's not
so
like that.
let's check in with reality. What did people have to say, JV?
All right, so Sharonda,
Sharonda? Okay.
she was like, in my Whitney Houston's voice, hell to the no, he shouldn't get upset.
Oh, okay.
Especially if he's not doing his job.
Okay.
Then it should be perfectly fine for another man to step forward and do what he's not doing. Why should kids not have the love and protection and also the guidance from another male role? He should be perfectly fine that another man is stepping up where he cannot or where he won't.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be perfectly fine, but
It won't be perfectly fine.
Yeah, because they should. I think that they should, but if they actually do,
Is another story.
Is another story. I can tell you, like from my experience, absolutely not. Wasn't even here. Wasn't even in the state. But let them find out that someone else was taking his child somewhere else or doing something with him.
but the
That
question
was an
was,
argument.
did you care?
No, I did
Okay.
not.
Okay.
No, I did not. I did not care at all because you weren't here
Right.
and you weren't helping. But again, for someone, I think I'm trying to define the lines in terms of someone who is not here and is not doing what they should be doing, and someone who is here and at least occasionally.
I don't think it makes a difference. I think if it's my son on my time when I'm supposed to have him, whatever I do with him in that time frame, that's what I do. If I trust the person enough that I'm dating, you need to trust my judgment just as I would trust yours. That if I decide to let my boyfriend take my son out or my daughter out, that you would respect that. And that's that. And let it
Okay.
go. Because don't forget, the tables will be turned at some time where your girlfriend's going to have to take the baby somewhere
would
because
want
you
to.
can't do it. So just shut your mouth and mind your business when he's in my care.
Okay.
Unless I call you.
Okay.
Mind your business.
So what really goes on though? Like when someone gets upset over that situation, what do you think is going on? You know, is it
Just a attack
just-
to the other person and controlling. I think it's all about control.
so you think that person just wants to control you or the kid?
The whole
the situation. Okay. What about like if some men might feel intimidated by another man taking care of his responsibilities, even though he's not doing them?
That's not my problem. So that's a personal problem. You need to work that out.
Gosh.
I am. Because you want to know why? Because as a single mother and, and raising my son by myself, you have no say in anything that I do. If you don't pay any bills, I don't ask you for anything. You don't contribute to the household. So what I do in my household is my business. I don't bother you in yours while you're building your life with whoever you're building your life with, and you're playing daddy to her kids. Don't worry about who's playing daddy to mine.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the topic. Yeah, we're going to talk
Just
about
let
that.
it go.
Because
I mean, because you know why? They do all this huffing and puffing and all this fighting, and then at the end of the day, they still don't do what the other man was doing.
Why is that, do you think?
So this whole big old stank that they put up, well, I don't want this person taking my son there and this, that, whatever, or my daughter here and there. But when I call you and say, come get him, I can't.
But I think, true, I hear you there. I'm just concerned about, and maybe this should be addressed to the men / women that do it, but because we're women, we talk about women issues here. We're talking about men. But I think it does the child a disservice when you're causing trouble or causing confusion when there really doesn't need to be. If you're that concerned about your child and who's taking the child here and when, you need to play more of an active role in that child's life. That's just, unless you have 24 hours a day to do what needs to be done with these kids, I just think that you should just keep your mouth shut. And like you said, one day those tables are going to be turned where, in my case, I would feel that if your boo can come and get them, ask her to come and get them.
When they swing to your house, tell them to swing by and pick up your baby.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So were there any other comments on that question?
On this question, yes. Herber puts, nope. Be happy that the mother of your children found a good man that is willing to do so. I can see as a man how that might be stepping on his toes a bit, and certain lines shouldn't be crossed.
Well, we understand, but if you're not carrying your weight,
like you should cross the line of taking care of your child.
right, cross over on that line,
definitely.
on that side, cross that line,
get over there.
right, and do what you're supposed to be doing. But I think, to me personally, if you really are not around enough, what you say go in one ear and out the other.
Right.
You're just not. It just doesn't weigh a whole lot in the situation. So next.
That was it. That
was it for that?
That was, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
for
So
that
I
question.
think too, with the women, what I will add to that is that make sure it's a good man, because it doesn't make
Well,
sense to take a deadbeat dad who we consider not good, and then you put that person, that child, in the care of someone who is not good.
That's understandable.
Right.
When that's
So-
your point that you're arguing. But
Right.
just because you don't want some other guy taking your child somewhere is just ludicrous.
And I agree. I just think that, and I remember the other way around was that with your father, what would happen was he thought that because he wasn't doing his job, that I had to run her around to all his side of the family. Huh?
No,
No.
definitely not.
Why are you calling me about stuff going on in your family, and if you want her to go, you come get her and take her. And then he would be upset because there'd be things that I was doing or didn't have the time or whatever, or you told me last minute or whatever. And now that I really don't like your family, you or your family, so why would I be taking her over there? Sorry.
Right.
You know, so I you know, just do your job, men. That's all I gotta say is just do your job. You wanna be respected, you know, as an ex or a baby daddy or whatever we're calling you today. Do your part, do your share, and you know, your kids would respect you a lot more too if they see you more. And if you're not together, allow the new person to bond. Like,
right,
you know, be respectable to one another. I get it that sometimes, you know, we might be stepping on your toes with this or that a little bit, but it has to work for the kids.
I don't. Like, my thing is make sure you feed my baby, because my baby is a healthy eater. So make sure you got somebody that cooks, and we cool. We good. You don't have to worry about nothing.
The child's best interest should always be at heart. That's what's very important. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about, should we just strip deadbeat dads? I mean, you're not doing anything, should you? But the child's blood is going through the men, his veins are going, his blood is going through your child's veins. So how much can we strip them, really? We'll be right back. We are back. Welcome back to the Single Ladies Cafe. In this segment, we are going to try to tackle, should we strip these deadbeat dads of their rights? I'm still up in the air about it. Hopefully by the time we finish this segment, we'll know if we should do it or not. Strip them.
Definitely strip
As
them.
everybody knows, Fox is real harsh. She don't give you much room,
because I just don't like nonsense. I just don't like. I'm busy. Don't play. I'm busy.
Okay.
I'm just busy. I don't have time for nonsense.
So you say strip dead. How deadbeat can they be? Let me ask, how deadbeat can they be? I mean, do they have to be dead, or can they just be a little pulse going on?
Yeah, 2 times. You got a light pulse. It's very light. It's very weak.
Oh, okay, very weak pulse. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking because, doing the research on this, and we talked about deadbeat dads before, and in no way do we want to have this conversation really to dog them or anything like that. That's not the case at all. I just think that it does need to be talked about. I think little reminders here and there as people go along life, maybe something we say might trigger them. It's a very, very, very difficult position to be in, male or female. Sometimes there are men that take care of the children and the women walk out. Or mostly, as we know it, the men walk out, on the women and children, which is totally wrong. And I don't understand it.
Well,
there's no way I can understand it.
You have a lot of people that are having babies with people that they're not
in love with.
Never have been. You have these one-night stands. You have sideline chicks. You just got all kinds of mess going on. Mm-hmm. So I don't even think that it's really that people aren't. I think it's because people are just stepping out too much. Is where all these.
There's no real. I think the thing is there's no love.
Right.
Yeah,
there's no love, and I think that's why. Because usually, if there's a commitment there, good men, if they have had a commitment with you, or they were in some long-term relationship with you, and the baby is there, and he's been doing it, and then things, fall apart, they find a way to take care, if not fight for their children. So we're not talking about the good men. We're talking about the deadbeats that, they just don't want to take care of their kids.
Just nasty.
And I just think that they don't have a real connection or bond, not only with the mom, but even with the child. So we find men that will walk away easy. And I think the act of walking away might be hard. I think once they do it, becomes easy.
I don't even think that they walk away. I think they just never allow themselves to get attached from the beginning. So it's just.
I can understand you not being attached to me, but I don't understand you not getting some type of attachment to your blood.
They don't, because they don't. Most of them are saying it ain't my baby.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And then it gets proven that it is their child.
And they still don't do anything. So I don't think that that's it. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. So in these particular cases where these dads are walking off and they're not connected to the children, they're not acknowledging the children, should we strip them of their rights, regardless if someone else is there to pick up their slack? Should we just strip them?
I want to strip mine because he just gets on my nerves. Like
that's not fair, and that's not fair.
He just gets on my nerves. Like
I get it.
Just strip him.
I'd give him a little leeway.
Just getting on my nerves. It just made me sick.
Oh gosh.
But
James, Jamie, can you give us a response, please? What is Facebook saying about this particular question? Are they did you read all of the responses? And what was the general consensus that people were saying?
It depends on what the situation was. So the first one that I have right here, we don't from Khadija. I don't know if I'm going to say
Khadija.
Khadija.
Okay.
Sorry. We don't have the right to deny any other parent their parental right. You may want to cut down visitations or something like that.
Can you stop right
What if they
there?
don't
I
have
will
any at all?
Well, why would I cut down if I'm trying to strip you of your right?
Why would I
I'm not
cut
trying
down?
to
Yeah,
work with you at all.
I'm not trying to work. Right. I'm not trying to work with you. So, okay, go ahead.
But then she was like, but that's a little bit extreme to deny anyone the right of being a parent, deadbeat or not. People change every day, if so.
Okay.
So then you can fight for him back.
I guess so. people may.
Okay. I get what
that
she's
through you?
saying.
Yeah.
I get what she's saying, I think. Because in my situation, they knew not to come through me because they didn't have a leg to stand on. And since I was the prime caregiver and I'm very much like Fox, my tolerance level just not there. I just have like just none.
I think I get it.
So so what happens is they wait until they become teenagers and then they think that, oh, I'm here.
Right.
Not so much.
Definitely not.
Because I feel this way, if you didn't do it in the beginning, you're not going to do it now. But okay. So people do change.
But not too
really,
much.
really do they come back and pick up the slack and really...
No, because they moved on with their lives.
Right, and as you should, but I just don't think that you should move on without taking care of your responsibility. In my opinion, and I said this one time because when that person ended up getting married and I found out that they had more children, my thing is, how are you starting another family and you can't take care of the one you have?
Right.
Okay. Tell me that my boo can't take no, okay.
Then she goes on, people may argue that we were bugging for even selecting a deadbeat to father our child in the first place. Usually there are signs, not always. But usually, I know dealing with them can be a headache and a half. Trust me, I do. But it is not my call to strip anyone of their right. When both of our blood flows through our children's veins, all we as women/mothers can do is absolute best.
Right, and that's stripping them if
That's
they're
stripping
not around.
them.
Right.
That's my opinion. Just if you're not
Strip
doing
'em.
anything, just strip
Yeah.
them. That's, I think as a mother, that's the best decision.
Especially
For
if
my
you
child.
have someone who you are dating, probably going into marriage with, or maybe you remarry or you marry, that can give that kid a better life. Why not?
Right.
Like if they want
Because he
to,
hasn't-
if they
I
want to
think-
adopt them, I think
Yeah.
that they should be allowed to adopt them.
Right.
But usually that's when everybody all of a sudden wants to become a dad.
Because I think when you adopt a child, or the thought of adopting the child sounds final. Like, and it should. I mean, it shouldn't have to get to that point in the first place, but because so many men don't take care of their responsibility, there are other men who want children and can't have them or don't have them and don't mind taking care of the kid, because if he loves me or the woman, they want to love the kid. And so to tell him, oh, you can't take him out, no, because his dad might come around one year, no. Okay, what else?
So Timothy put, if the father isn't providing anything toward the support of the child, that includes the emotional support between a child and its father, I don't see why not. As long as the mother can articulate in court as to why she wants the father to be stripped of his parental rights.
He doesn't do anything.
He's not there.
Like, what more do you need? I don't get it.
He's not there. I think, you know, to bring out this point is that, you know, what I don't want the audience to take away from this conversation is that that we think that it's an easy thing to do, or it's an easy thing to do. It's not, because one, we have to go through the court, and it depends on what state you actually live in, if you can do it or not. So I think my question would be to men, because I think where I'm kind of up in the air about it is the blood versus the court. Can someone really, really strip you of your parental? I mean, I made you, your dad made you. Can you really strip me of my parental rights?
I don't know.
Even if the court says
Do you want me
so.
to try the process to see if you can?
No.
I'll initiate a process. To see. I'll be the guinea pig for
Oh,
it.
gee. I'm just thinking
I'm just joking. I don't want anybody to take away from this that
Yeah, yeah.
that I mean,
that
I feel
would
how I
not
feel, but I
for-
wouldn't.
But
Wouldn't do it,
definitely
yeah.
would if necessary. If you're not there providing and doing what you should do, especially emotionally. What I will not tolerate and what I did not tolerate was don't call and say you're going to do this and then don't do it and upset my kid. That right there, yeah, you got about 2 times to do that. And maybe 3.
No, you got 2.
Okay.
And the kids wonder why their father are not taking them.
Right. I think while I was doing this research, I saw something that said something like, if you're not there to be a dad, why should you have the title of a good dad, a father, or being a father? If you can't be a dad, then why should I give you the title of being a father? I don't get it. Like, I'm not sure what you get out of, but it's unfortunate today. I don't think these men even care. I mean, I could be wrong.
These
I
days in
don't.
2012, no.
Yeah, I don't even think you can strip them all you want. I don't think that the majority of them care. I think you'd be getting a handful
That's terrible.
chasing you to court, trying to say no. There are some I'm not talking about the good men, I'm talking about the deadbeats. That's what I'm talking about. So, anybody else?
Well, Brother Al was like, keep in mind it would take more than a father not paying support for the courts to strip him of parental rights, such as endangering the welfare of the child. Not paying support is not grounds to be stripped of rights, though it's jacked up not paying. Also, if I am not mistaken, doesn't the other parent have to consent to give up their parental rights?
Yeah.
Most guys just won't do it. Just
Right.
because.
Just absolutely because it's their right. So the best thing to do in that particular case is to work around them. That's the only way that you can do. A lot of people, even if it's a mom, you really have to locate that parent and ask. And if not, there's very few states, and there are some, that will, if you prove that that person has not been there for a certain time or participate, the judge will just, strip them. But very few states here do that. You're just going to have to kind of work around, and I agree with Khadijah, we're just going to have to do the best that we can. But if legally I can, I would. I really would. So,
I mean, I just don't, I don't see why the courts, why they don't, because they don't go after these deadbeats for child support. They let them go completely under the radar in the system. You take them to court. I know that there are girls where they go to court and the baby daddy is on disability and I can't afford to pay child support, and the courts let them walk away.
Or they go under the radar
and they're working,
under the table.
So why not?
But see, and my thing is with that is, if that's how you're going to if a man is not paying child support to me, when they call, click. Until the judge make you pay.
I mean, if somebody goes as low as to not working purposely, to not have to pay child support,
that's sad.
They deserve to have their rights stripped. Like that's crazy.
Sad. And another thing, and maybe we'll get into in our next segment, is that why do deadbeat dads feel that it's okay for them to not pay, and the women have to pay and take care of the responsibility, and they can just do whatever they want to do? So I'm not understanding that at all. So we're gonna wrap up this segment. I hope somebody got something out of this segment. If not anything, if the law will let us strip you. We will strip you. But we will take everything into consideration. So we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to kind of talk about, what happens if the kid, we strip the father, but the kid, age 13, 14, 15 wants a relationship with the father. Do we stand in the way? We'll be right back. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back to the Single Ladies Cafe. I'm really enjoying this topic about stripping deadbeat dads of their rights. We can't strip the good ones, so.
No, that would be silly.
Yeah, that would be very silly. But the deadbeat, the ones that are just not around, just not holding their end, of responsibility. And I think, too, to be fair to women and men, because men do it too. There's a lot of single dads out there. When you don't pick up your end, it's tough. I think men think it's an easy thing to do because women do it. But it's not. There's a lot of things that we run into, finances, just clothing, just
everything.
food.
I mean, and that's why I think we talked about this before when we had this conversation about child support. Just because you're $200 a month or whatever the case may be, just because if I want to go spend it on a pair of shoes, I can do that. Because all month, all week, all day, I'm paying for electricity for your son or child or daughter, whoever, to have. They have a bed to sleep in. There's food in the refrigerator. So the thousands of dollars that I spend throughout the month, your $200, I'm buying a pair of shoes.
Right.
Your son's taken care of. Your daughter's taken care of.
Right.
Don't worry about what I do with your $200.
I think the thing is, be smart women. Don't tell them. Like, when they send their check,
I'll be right on Facebook.
Hey,
y'all, look at my new shoes.
See, she ain't right. She ain't right.
My baby daddy bought these. Child support.
Actually, his money went towards the heat, the electric, the food, the doctor's appointments.
Exactly. When you got to pay co-pays and school lunch,
Got to pay gas to go to the
Exactly.
Right.
So, all those things you need to take. You got to break them down sometimes. You got to, ladies, you got to get it together and you got to break it down for them sometimes.
And I think it's a lot of times, too, it is our fault because we allow men to do things that they shouldn't do. And one of the things, and I have to go back to myself because I did it too, is we let them get away. And no man that has a child should not, unless the court system deems it that this person does not have to pay child support, no person should go without paying child support if they are not the prime caregiver. It's not right, it's not fair, and in the long run, it only hurts your child. Hopefully not bad, to the point where it cripples them. But I just say, men, man up and do the right thing. Take care of your children. Now, ladies, what happens when Billy Joe is gone because we stripped him?
You gotta at least say like Tyrone or something.
Oh, Tyrone.
We in the new millennium.
I'm trying not to use a name where
Stereotype.
Right, or take me to court. I don't want them to take me to court because their name is common today. But what happens?
Defamation of character.
But little Johnny now is 13, 14. He's sick of you. And he's sick of, stepdad too. So I want my daddy. So what happens? Do we block the child? What do we do in that situation?
Go on. See how you work. I didn't get nowhere for 13 years. See how you make out.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Because I know they'll be back.
Because kids do that. They get to a certain age, and I don't think they are doing it to hurt you, who have always been there. I know I felt that way, when when you started asking more about dad and going over there and hanging out there, and I felt he don't deserve that. I took care of her. I fed her. I clothed her. Why? He just trying to take over now, you know.
Kids just need a break.
Yeah.
They do.
They just need a break.
They're maturing.
And they're trying to figure out who they are. You know, so they're trying to figure out who am I?
Because I know my son in a heartbeat, he'll be like, oh, you got a bad attitude today. Like, I want to go somewhere.
Yeah, he does.
He tells it like it is, and
you can respect the little guy.
I appreciate it. I love him for that. I
Yeah,
love him for
yeah,
that.
you
So, I
can-
mean, kids need their space, and you can tell. When he starts telling me I have a bad attitude, we need a,
Right.
Yeah.
we need a break
Yeah.
from each other.
Yeah. So I think, you know, a lot of women, though, do block the children. They don't want to, the kids to have a relationship with their deadbeat dad. What happens? What do we do? What, you know, he's deadbeat. You know, I think a part of this question that I wanted to talk about too is, and I don't remember where I heard this or saw this, but I remember this couple where they had this child and the father was just totally, absolutely deadbeat at his best. And what happened was the child ended up growing up or getting money or something like that, and then the father thought he was supposed to have a part of it.
Oh, you know what she was watching?
Huh.
Girl, you was watching Meet the Browns. That's what that was.
Maybe that's what that
Meet the
was.
Browns when he was doing good with the basketball. He got like a basketball
Yeah,
scholarship or something like that. That was Meet the Browns.
Yes, it's like, how do you feel that you deserve anything when you haven't put into?
He doesn't deserve it at all.
But people do. They, you know, I mean, to me, that's really sad as a parent. Like, if you didn't even
low.
acknowledge, very low.
Very low.
If you didn't acknowledge the kids when they were small and growing up, but now all of a sudden you want to be Papa of the Year, you know, so that you could get some monetary or just even, oh, that's my son or that's my daughter, you know, when they're doing good. That's not right. That, So I hope that there's no law, I don't know, but I hope that there's no law that would ever deem that person
I
should
will
get
fight
anything.
that tooth and nail. You are not getting anything.
No, and you shouldn't. I mean,
Anything.
Not at all.
I think you should get out what you put in.
I will sell my house for the top lawyer because you're not getting it.
Right.
not
That
getting
scholarship,
it. Yeah.
money or whatever, that would go into attorneys
Yep. You're not getting
to
it.
fight you. Yeah, just, I don't know. I just think that people are, the way they think, the way they feel, the way they do things are just so off today. Just real off. But again, I think it has to do with the type of man that you have the child with, which is another thing. We just have to really be careful with who we having these children with, because whoo, these are some psychos. Like, they're just crazy today. So I just think that, I think though, if a child wants to meet or try to have a relationship with a parent, even after he is stripped, I think that we should give that child the opportunity to build a relationship with their dad. No? Yes? How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think you should. I mean, like I said before, good luck.
Because they'll be right back into your home.
Good luck. But I don't know. Maybe a lot of guys try to use the excuses, well, I can't get along with the mother. The baby mother drives me crazy. I can't take it.
And they do that.
I don't know how, like, you know, only time will tell when the kid's old enough to try to form their own relationship, if they want to, how true that is. Could be just an excuse that everybody accepted for whatever amount of years. But, I mean, I think let them try.
I think, too, I think during one of the segments I said that if it's not in you, it's just not in
It's
you.
not.
If you can use that as an excuse, but eventually, if that's not the truth, that kid is gonna know, because if their parent is a parent that normally or have said throughout the whole time that you were growing up, promised you something and didn't come through with it, most likely that's who they are.
No change.
Very rarely does someone change from that, especially if it's not an alcoholic or a chemical dependency problem. Those people you can kind of understand. They kind of, not that understand that they're a deadbeat, but you can understand why they use excuses. But when you just walking around, I mean, I just passed you with your girl, and you taking care of her kids, you know.
That's the difference. If you see me in the mall, I could be in the mall. But if you ain't paying nothing and you in the mall with yours, you ain't supposed to be there.
Right.
You're not supposed to be there.
Right.
And every time I see you there, I'm gonna let you know that you're not supposed to be there. Why are you there? I should be here, not you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
I don't, and that's another thing that I do not understand. How you can not take care of your own child,
care of somebody
but yet
else's.
you can take care of someone else's child that is not yours.
2 and 3 and 4 of them.
I just don't understand how,
Get your life.
or how they can get, from now on, ladies, just start snapping. And when you see them, just get your camera and just start and take it to court. Like, for real. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think the more we do to help out with our children, men or women, the easier or the better life will be for both the mom and the child. Because really, a lot of children, you're not taking care of their mom. You're not doing their mom right. You're not treating their mom right. You don't have a happy child. You don't have and that child, even while building a relationship, will make it difficult for you because they know how you treat their mom. So I think be careful with that. Again, to the men, man up. And just do your share. It's not easy being a single mom. Yeah, a lot of women do it, but it's not easy, and not for nothing. It's your flesh and blood that is being shortchanged. Because as an adult, for me, I'm an adult. I've already been raised, and I may have had very good parents, but it's your child that you're shortchanging. So I think you should, if you don't want to be a parent, do what you need to do not to have children.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So
Think before you do.
I think that's what you should do too.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I always say that.
If you don't do it, just wrap it up.
Another topic, another day.
Birth control.
Yeah, we talked about that one time before. We were talking about birth control. Yeah, never mind.
That's next time.
Yeah, another day. We're going to end this segment, and when we come back, we're going to go into Exposure with the Fox. We're going to get our celebrity news and gossip. We'll be right back. We are back. Single Ladies Cafe, Miss SC and Fox. She is going to update us with our dose of celebrity news and gossip. What you got over there today? I love this part of the show.
Let's see. It's not bad today, but the first thing I got is just Ratchet.
Ratchet?
Ratchet.
What happened?
Just going all in on this one.
Elmo.
Elmo.
The voice of Elmo, right?
Right.
The person behind the voice, his name is Kevin Clash. He's been doing the voice of Elmo, I think it's been like 30, 40 years. He has been accused of having sexual relations with an underage boy.
Is that true? Because that right there is that's not cool if that's not true.
It ain't cool.
It ain't cool if it is true.
It ain't cool. So the accusations came up in June of this year, and the young man is saying that he's had relations with him, and of course he's denying it. He is admitting that they've had little internet conversations and stuff like that, but he's denying that there was any type of...
But what type of conversations would he have with an underage child?
They didn't say what the conversations were, but what the accuser is actually saying is that they were actually in a relationship, and now they're thinking that this is a relationship going bad, so now he's coming to the public and, trying to do a little defamation of character here.
Elmo.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
That is crazy.
My grandson got any Elmos?
Nah, he don't rock with Elmo. He don't rock with Elmo. Mm-mm.
You know,
You know we ain't got no Elmo in the
you
house.
don't believe. We got audience saying
don't
they
be-
don't believe.
You don't believe the
about
accuser?
Elmo.
You don't believe the accuser, or you don't believe the accused?
It's Elmo. I don't know. That's just very upsetting.
It is. It is. But it's no different from Pee Wee Herman when he was.
That's
But Pee Wee
true.
Herman was in an adult theater. I mean, come on, that was a grown man.
But he was.
But it was
his
with
audience was still
kids.
children.
Right, yeah.
All right, but okay. Now
But just
Brian is crying. I mean, it wasn't like. I mean, he wasn't dressed like Pee Wee Herman. I mean,
Oh, he had his hand up Elmo's butt.
That went a little too far. Right
yeah, that's too much.
try to erase.
So yes, so there has been an investigation, and nothing's really come out of it as of right now. So right now, I guess we can say that
They're just allegations
they're
right
just
now.
allegations. There's nothing saying that there's really. At the time, the young man was 16 years old. He's now 23. So that's what, like 7 years that they've had this relationship. I just don't see a 16-year-old and a grown man having a 7-year relationship. This is supposed to be consensual. This is not like he's molesting him or something like that, and then the person
Right,
kept
he's
it
in a
quiet for 7
relationship.
years. A
Right.
16-year-old with a grown person for 7 years is just.
Well, they did it with that teacher. Was she a teacher? What's the one that did
The one that had the babies?
Right, but they put her in jail.
Yeah.
But they're still married today.
Yeah.
The teacher and
Yeah.
and she had her own family over there. She
Yeah.
said, yes. I mean,
But it's public though.
now it is. But at the
But
time,
they weren't having a relationship for 6 years. It wasn't under
maybe not
wraps for
6
6 years.
years.
I mean, we've been hearing about it for 11 years now, but it's been public. They
well,
didn't have
I
a
think the
secret
problem
relationship
here
for 6
is
years.
Elmo.
Well, yeah, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're on
can't look at
Sesame
Elmo.
Street. Like, we all, no matter how old you are, everybody is Sesame Street. Like, really, Elmo?
really though. And I didn't know that Elmo, the voice of Elmo, I didn't know it was a brother.
Oh, yeah.
You never knew that?
No.
Oh,
I knew that.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yes.
I
Yes,
didn't know.
that I knew. That I knew. Well, prayers out to Elmo and the little boy and the grown man now.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
23 now.
If
so
it's true. If the
I think he's just a
Sesame-
scorned lover.
scorn.
He's a scorned lover.
Sesame Street's been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah, with Mitt Romney and
Yeah,
all that
Big
stuff
Bird.
like that.
Huh? I missed
Yeah.
that whole thing then.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
don't
we
want to
don't-
talk
yeah.
about that.
All right then.
Into some more ratchet news. Cat Williams, you know I always had to report about him.
What he do?
This time he done punched his female assistant in the face.
His blood sister?
No, personal assistant.
Oh. Why?
Nobody knows why. There's been no reason given as to why he did it. He wasn't arrested for the incident.
Is it true?
We don't know. She's just been coming out, so he's being sued for $5 million because she said that she had to be hospitalized because he punched her in her face.
So how is he not arrested then?
I don't know. Nobody knows what's really going on. I don't know if she's just now coming forward and just went straight to file a suit or what, but
I'm just trying to figure out, how do you get to the point that you can punch your assistant? Like,
That makes no sense.
I'm just trying to.
they're not giving a reason as to what happened. But it's currently under investigation right now, so I guess we'll find out as the investigation continues. He's just always in some kind of nonsense. He was recently also going at it with a heckler at one of his shows that he went back for.
Are you serious? Let it go.
He assaulted that person and he was arrested for that.
So then this might be true.
Oh, it probably
This
is. He's always got some
allegation.
sort of something. He's strung out somewhere doing something ridiculous publicly. I don't know. He just released a new DVD. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet either.
The thing is, the sad thing is,
he
he
looks
really
real.
is funny.
He
like,
is.
the swearing can go.
that was that heckler one. That one got caught on video. I remember that one. That was on video. So
Cat Williams, let it
Ratchet.
go. Go get some anger management classes or something.
yeah.
Keep your hands to yourself.
So in less ratchet news,
Oh.
Halle Berry, you know that she was going through a custody battle with her ex-boyfriend, who's the gorgeous model Gabriel. They have a little girl together. I believe she's
beautiful.
4. Naya, something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Either way, and they were in a custody battle, and she was trying to take her overseas to Paris because her now current fiance is from Paris. That's his stomping ground. He's a movie director and yada yada yada. And also, one of the big things that Holly had issues with was paparazzi. So in Paris, they have actual laws to protect you from paparazzi.
Oh.
So she doesn't want her daughter to be, you know, because they don't really have much protection here in the United States. They can just run up on you and
Right.
pretty much harass you here. In Paris, you can't do that.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
in order for her daughter to have somewhat of a normal life, she wants to raise her in Paris. Well, she was denied moving to Paris, and she has to stay in the United States because obviously the father was fighting for custody of the child. And one of his things was that he did not want the baby to leave the United States because, you know, he's running into, well, I don't want to have to go there and I won't be able to see her as much. I don't know how often he's seen the child while they're in the United States, but
I have two. Did you have something, JV,
No,
to say?
you can go ahead first.
I just have one thing for Holly. I mean, maybe I'm out of touch. I don't think your baby is going to be that important that we care, or the paparazzis, really. I mean,
I don't really think it's the baby. I think it's her.
but you should be used to this. You've been here how long?
She's used to it, but now her daughter has to go through it. Listen,
I don't think that.
when you get famous, Miss Essie, then you make that judgment.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just going to zip
We
my
have to
lips.
worry
Holly.
about we have to worry about that. Then we'll have this discussion again.
Okay.
We'll be
Until
visiting.
then.
Okay. But now, on the father. Does he take care of the girl? Does he see her?
I don't think that he does too much, and I think that one of the biggest things that was in the custody battle is that Holly sees him to be an unfit parent.
Because my question would be, why would any mother want to take the child, move the child out of the country when you got a good dad?
She don't like him.
Maybe.
But that's not right. I don't think that's right. That she would. I think just because you don't get along with him is not
No,
right.
well, I mean,
don't-
I can understand because
I
at
just
some
think
point
that
in my life,
paparazzi
I want to
thing-
move out of the state. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
out of the state is one thing, but when you ask me to have to get documentation
don't let
to
it,
go
don't get
over
it twisted,
to,
because that man be traveling. He has to fly and model and stuff like that in Paris and London and all that. So it's not that serious. He can fly.
Yeah, you can jump on a plane right in
If
2
he
minutes.
was just a regular Joe Schmo, then okay, but that's what you do in your career. You travel all around the world, so let's not make a big deal out of it. It's just one of those control tactics, I'm telling you.
okay.
And lastly, the Braxtons. We all know how we all love the Braxtons.
Yes.
If you follow me on Facebook and Twitter, we all know that I'm a Tamar Braxton fan.
Yeah, you are.
I love her. I really, really do. They are actually trying to shop around their own daytime talk show.
I think that would be
Something,
very, very interesting.
You know, like kind of like The View.
I like
That
that.
would be good.
I like that. They are the perfect people to do that.
So it's supposed to be called Spill the Tea, which is featured.
Oh.
It features Tony, Tracy, Tawanda, and Trina. There's no Tamar in this.
What happened?
I don't know, but they need her.
I don't know
I don't
about
know how
that
they gonna
now.
do it.
If they're not gonna do all 5, don't do none.
I don't know how they gonna do a show without Tamar. I'm just saying she just makes the show.
Yeah, I don't see #. Don't get stupid, y'all.
No, so I mean it could be because she has other things in the works and it's just not fitting in her
Then
schedule.
don't,
But she
well,
is
then
trying
don't do
to,
that show right now. Then wait until it fits in her, because Tamar is needed.
Well, I agree. I think they definitely need her, but you know she's now trying to come out with her own album, which is I can't wait. I love her. And then she has Tamar and Vince, the show with her and her husband, Vince and
they
Herbert,
also have
and they also
the-
have the Braxton show.
Right.
So I don't know. She could be touring, and I don't know. They're not saying why. This is not something that's set in stone. That's actually happened. They're just shopping the talk show around.
But I still feel the same way when on the show when they were doing the album.
Mm-hmm.
If all of them don't do it, then I just think
I agree. So the show is supposed to actually be sort of like The View, like I said, where they talk about the hot topics. They have the celebrity news and gossip. They'll be talking about relationships, fashions. They'll have a
Nice.
makeover segment, and then they'll have celebrity interviews. So I think that
It'll be hot.
That would be
It'll
good.
be really
That would
nice.
be
I
really
think
good.
it's going to be boring without.
Well, it will be boring without
Yeah.
Tamar.
You know,
It'll be
I
a
just
pretty
don't
good
think
show.
everybody has.
I think it'll be classy. I think it will. You know, they have enough in their own lives to keep us interested, to keep the show interesting. I just think it'll be a good show.
I just think it's
Yeah.
their time. I think when they
Yep.
did the reality show,
Yes.
they started off. It
Yes.
was a good
Yes.
thing for them. It was good for reality TV because we know how ratchet it was getting with the Basketball Wives and all that
Oh,
stuff like that.
man.
So it's some
And they-
good, clean TV.
Yes.
And I hope they get it. I mean, I'm
Me
not a
too.
daytime talk show person, but I would definitely
Yeah.
tune into that.
Good.
Definitely.
for them.
And
I will too.
Mary's coming back on.
It is.
Mary Mary's coming
All
back on.
right, I can't
December
wait.
6th is coming-
December? Oh, that's coming up
6th.
soon.
So it's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good. That's like one of my favorite
Yeah.
reality shows. They kept it clean. You go, girls. Christians. Go, girls. And
Yeah,
it was
it's
good.
a good show. Good show.
Very
So
good.
that's all I have for today's celebrity news and gossip. And wait a minute. Wait. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry, guys. No, there was something that I thought,
Yeah.
but I'll bring it up in the next one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Bring a little block there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't
okay.
a block. I just decided to save it for a better time.
Okay.
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 Just gonna make us wonder now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for filling us in on our celebrity news and gossip. Always good to hear what's going on in the celebrity world out there. Elmo, though, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on.
I don't know. I mean, you might see Elmo fly off the. This is just not a good time. The holidays
definitely
are
not.
coming up, and you know Elmo is huge.
I ain't buying
around
nothing
Christmas time.
Elmo right now.
But your grandson's too big for Elmo
Yeah,
anyway,
well,
so we don't need none of that in the household. But
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for being a part of the show today. Thanks, JV, for filling in for Miss Kiki
Not a
today.
problem.
We appreciate it.
you
And
did all right. But I miss Kiki today.
As she would say, for real.
for real. All right. We got to go. We got to get out of here. We hope that you guys got something out of the topic today. I don't know what y'all going to do about these deadbeat men, but keep me posted. I don't know. If you guys want to follow or keep the conversation going, just send us something on our fan page, Single Ladies Cafe. Is that facebook.com
Facebook. Is
The Single Ladies Cafe.
facebook.com/the Single Ladies Cafe.
Yeah,
And
just
on Twitter. the
Yes.
Single lady. No
Single
S.
Lady Cafe.
They didn't give us enough room for the S.
Yes. Okay. All right. So if y'all want to continue to talk about it, just let us know one way or the other, and we'll be glad to, keep the conversation rolling. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have been listening to the Single Ladies Cafe. See you next time.
Single ladies, cafe, single ladies.